look at this. What a turnaround this season, DeRosa, for Michael Harris. Robert just showed you the highlights. Tale of two seasons. Georgia baseball product, right? NL Rookie of the Year. We've been kind of wondering, is it a mechanical change? Is it just the ebbs and flows of the season? What have you seen? Because it's drastic. He's been awesome lately.
You've heard me say on here a bunch of times, you will eventually revert or become some version of your high school self.
Okay.
He's actually, when he first burst on the scene, and we're going to chronicle it, when he first burst on the scene in 2022, he got called up. He was a third round pick, like you said, for the Atlanta Braves, and he burst on the scene and won the Rookie of the Year. When he first came up, his hands were up high, above his head. And then Kevin Seitzer, who was the hitting coach at the time, he got off to a slow start, brought his hands down, and he went on fire. Well, dealing with some injuries, dealing with some catastrophically slow start to the year this year, right around July, those hands started to creep back up to what he did in high school, and he has gotten on fire. So this is why we talk about feel versus real. This is why we talk about constant tinkering with the hands and the fight for rhythm and timing. Here's a guy that was taken from what he liked to do in high school and brought his hands to a different place that worked for him for a time or two, and now he's slowly gotten back to what he had always felt comfortable doing. So let's get into it, because he has been on fire. The Braves have had such a tough season. He got off to such a slow start. They didn't have Ronald. They dealt with injuries to the pitching staff. And for whatever reason, they were never able to get hot or bring it together. So pause this for me real quick. Bring up his numbers since July 9th. Take a look at this. Michael Harris II, July 9th ranks. Average, he's first. Extra base hits, he's third. Slug, he's third. Weighted runs created. He had to go on a run like this to kind of salvage the season. But he has been phenomenal for this team. So I wanted to go through the evolution, because here he is in April. Look at his hands. Kind of chest high. And then right around July 9th in Sacramento, you started to see them slowly progressing to where they were last night, above his head, back to where he was in high school, and even has adjusted his front foot. He's opened up a lot more. Give it to me side angle. Leave this alone. I mean, this is a major difference. And we always talk about this. I don't really care where you have your hands. I mean, we've seen the manager of the Cubs, I always go back to that, Craig Counsell, at some point in his offseason work, I don't know what got him to where this felt comfortable, but he got to the ball on time. He got to the fastball on time. It's usually from the waist down that you have to make sure is synced up in order for your hands to play. So I don't really care, but these are catastrophic moves from where he originally was in April to August. Now bring up when he first came up to the big leagues. Pause. I mean, there he was, first at bat in the big leagues. Sandy Alcantara, bottom of the sixth. His hands are above his head. Run this. Shooting a ball the other way. So he's reverted kind of back to what was originally comfortable for him. Pause. There he was, first day in the big leagues, and now last night.
Wow.
Wow.
Bring up his stance metrics, where he stands in the board, in the box. Michael Harris, 2025 swing and stance splits by game. Average bat speed, last 31 games, obviously in a better position to deliver a blow to the baseball. Stance angle, he's standing way more open. 10 degrees, now he's 27. Hard hit has gone through the roof and barrel has gone through the roof. Whatever he's done, whether it's a hitting coach or whether it's his father, somebody telling him, get back to what made you you, it's working. And let's get into it, because he's been on fire for this team. Staying through the baseball. I mean, he burst on the scene, and he was just so good, so quick. They gave him that huge deal. The expectations in Atlanta were it's all-star or bust for Michael Harris every day. Living there, he's gotten a lot of heat. This is a talented guy. This guy should not be batting ninth on the Atlanta Braves for the majority of the season. He should be a top-of-the-order bat. He should be a catalyst for the likes of Riley and Olsen. And I think in Snicker's trust tree, that's where he'd like to be. You saw him go granny the other night off Reed Garrett. Run that back for me real quick to set up. And you're seeing it. They're all pre-setting that back hip. They're all into it so they don't drift forward. Run this.
Is there a little Christian Yelich in there?
There is, Robert. He just has to commit to wanting to be the best version of himself, because when you watch Michael on a nightly basis, he could take over a game, but he could also swing at 3 curveballs in the dirt and walk back to the dugout, and you're questioning what his plan of attack was walking up to the plate. First at bat right there, he gets a split ghost fork down from Kodai Senga, and he's able to shoot it, but that's the beauty. I mean, he beats Cedric Mullins right here. Mully's taking that as he can angle and cut that off and dominate that ball, and he wasn't able to. Pause this. We have one more board. Here we go. Hammering the heater. Michael Harris II. Career splits versus the fastball. You see him in 22-23 when he first came to the show, hitting 327. Then first 88 games of 2025. Maybe he's nicked up. He's hitting $1.78. Last 31 games, he's hitting 370 with a 593 slug. Okay, get back into the tape real quick, because this is the beauty of adding value. And here he is hitting off the fastball. Kids at home, Michael Harris was able to stay in that lineup when a lot of people were calling for him to potentially go down to the minors or someone else to play center for a little bit. Why was he able to stay in that lineup? Because he does this. Ooh. And Brian Snicker knew he didn't have anybody who could go get a ball in center field the way Michael Harris. He could change the game on the defensive side. So the totality, you put this offense together with this kind of defense, you got a perennial all-star. And I think that's why everybody was so confused with the first 88 games of the year with Michael Harris.
How do you add value? You always say it time and time again.
The Mets are just a half game up for that final wild card spot on the Reds. Mets hosting the Mariners this weekend. They got the Little League Classic thrown into the mix. Meantime, the Reds are hosting the Milwaukee Brewers this weekend.